Hey, this is Emily at Oz Inflatable Kayaks, and this beauty is the Odyssey Solo inflatable kayak from Jaspara. Amazingly fast, super rigid, but different to every other full drip stitch kayak on the market in Australia, and in this video I'm going to go through why. Now, full drop stitch, what that means is that in the chambers, there's stitches actually all the way through the chamber. This is like looking at a cross section. So you can inflate it to quite high pressure, to like 10 psi is what this kayak goes to, and you'll get really good rigid flat chambers. So imagine an inflatable stand-up paddleboard, and you got all your weight on one point and it's got to stay flat. That's the sort of technology we're talking about here. And what it means is we get this kayak that is completely rigid, right? No bending, no buckling, no sagging, absolutely nothing, which means it goes really fast. It just cuts through the water. It's incredible. Now, this style of kayak has been on the market in Australia for a long time. I call it the canoe style for full drop stitch because it's sort of shaped a bit like a canoe. But there's been a major flaw with these, and not to pick on this particular model here, they all have this flaw. I don't know if you can see it, but the bow and stern keel, these hard plastic forms, they are out of the water, which means they're doing nothing. Now, the problem with this is that these kayaks have quite large side panels. As soon as the wind comes, you don't just get blown away, you also get turned around. It is absolutely infuriating. So we went back to the drawing board here, and we have got a completely different keel shape. So this keel, you can see the flat hull here, and then the keel goes down into the water, both at the bow and at the stern of the kayak. If this kayak is sitting upright on the grass, it literally falls over like that. That's how much these keels protrude out of the hull, and they are incredibly effective. So you can see it peeling the water either side. So even when you get a wind, like you're going to get slowed down and sort of blown a bit, but you don't get turned. The other critical factor here is that both the bow and the stern keels are in the water. Even with me, like I'm pretty lightweight, and we've got this at full pressure, still both are in the water. Now that's partly also the balance. We've made sure that there's enough space for you to be as far forward in the kayak as possible to get that bow into the water, and the results are awesome. Like, look at it go. It's just, it zooms, it cuts through. I do not have the fin on in this recording, and look how straight it's going. Like, there's just the most subtle waggle as you stroke, but it is like an arrow. Look how fast I'm going. Very, very impressive performance-wise. Now, the other thing that makes this kayak a little different is we've made it wider. So that looks like a tiny seat. It's not a tiny seat. It's a regular bum-sized seat. We've made the kayak 50 centimeters wide internally, which is quite a bit of space. A lot of the other full drop stitch canoe style ones in the market were quite narrow, which is nice for performance, right? But it means that you can't really take a dog or take kids or go fishing. Some people do, but to me, it just had that tippy feel that I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So we wanted to make something really stable where you felt comfortable in the kayak. You can also see it's gigantic, right? So this is set up. You see how far back the foot pegs. I could have got these way further forwards and the seat right up here, and I would have had all this space in the back here. Or you can put yourself back and get a kid. So kids, dogs, fishing, you could take a couple of kids, couple of dogs. It's a very spacious, maybe even camping. We'll see. It's a very spacious kayak. And all this, and it's only 15.2 kilograms. Now, that is not our lightest inflatable. If you want something really lightweight, get in touch and we'll guide you on that. But compared to, a 3.6 meter hard shell kayak, wow, super light and doesn't need roof rack. So it's really, really awesome. Very, very comfortable. So for me, being supported in my back is critical because I just can't go for very long if I'm not. So believe it or not, the foot pegs really help with the back support. So when you brace your feet, you're kind of bracing through that whole core. You can put your whole body rotationally into the paddling motion and your lower back is supported. However, if you don't want to put them in, just leave them out. Quite often, if I have kids in the front, I won't bother putting foot pegs in. Now with the seat, what we've done is we've put the D-rings up really high on the inner tube. This makes a huge difference on the side chamber, I should say. It's not a tube. I see so many where they're kind of in the middle or down low or even on the floor, and being pulled down does not give you anywhere near the same support as being pulled forward with the straps. Trust me on this. There's also two straps so that you can adjust both the lower kind of lumbar and the mid back. And then we've given you a detachable cushion. So I was kind of in two minds. Do we want to give people a cushion? Do we not? And then I thought, well, let's just make it optional. So it's just Velcroed on. The cushion is, in my opinion, with this particular kayak, with the Odyssey Solo, the cushion gives you a slightly better paddling motion. But without the cushion, you're more stable in the kayak. So this way you can make that choice. Setup, this is one of the easiest kayaks to set up, basically because all of the valves are the same and all of the pressures the same. So you just bang, bang, bang onto the 3 chambers. Now, we provide a hand pump, and you can do it with a hand pump, but this is quite a lot of pressure, and it's quite a big kayak. So I would very strongly suggest an electric pump with this kayak. Pretty well all of them on the market will work. Foot pegs are optional, but like I said, well worth it. Deck lifts are strictly optional, but bear in mind that any water that lands on the decks will go straight into the kayak if you don't use it. And this, again, this kayak is different to the others on the market because it provides a rear deck lift. I found that when I was pulling up on the beach, if I didn't have a rear deck lift, even in flat water, like I do a lot of broadwater estuary kind of paddling, just these little waves would slop on the back deck and the water would just go straight in. So we've made it so that you stay relatively dry. This is an open style kayak though. You cannot put a deck or a spray skirt on it, so there will be a little bit of water involved. Pop on your caps, pop in your seat. The fin is provided, but you do not need it. So none of that footage I showed was with a fin. We basically gave you a fin so that you can put a propeller on. So all the fin box propellers on the market come with a SUP adapter. You just slot it in and zoom, away you go. In terms of durability, they have put these awesome plates on here. They're like a super hard kind of ridge that, because when you pull up, you'll be pulling up on these keels. So they needed to be super tough. That's been really effective. You saw the quality of the drop stitch before. This is the PVC they use. It's actually not just PVC. It's a PVC tarpaulin. So it has PVC either side and polyester in the middle. Very effective. It doesn't stretch. It's really thick. And if you do get like a rock scratching, it's often just a cosmetic scratch because it does not get through that fabric layer to the inside layer. So it's inevitable. If you're having a good time, you're going to get scratches on your kayak, but you don't need to worry about it. It's just cosmetic. This is the guys at the factory. This is me helping to place the balance. So the balance to me is really important in a kayak. You want your weight as far forward as possible to keep the bow in the water. You want the handles to be at the center of gravity so that when you pick it up, it doesn't tip forwards, it doesn't tip backwards. The foot pegs, we sort of have to position in an attempt to accommodate all heights, which is a challenge. We even got a little D-ring placed in the middle so that you can clip on your paddle leash. Lots of these details matter, and watching these guys work, like their craftsmanship of how they glue and the care they take and the precision, it was incredible to see. Then they inflate everything for 7 full days at the factory so that we can guarantee that when you receive the kayak, it is fully functional. You can see the Odyssey range down the back there. So if you have any questions about the Odyssey Solo inflatable kayak from Jaspara, please get in touch. This is Emily at Oz Inflatable Kayaks.